So I made a video yesterday talking about a kind of on-air blunder from Chiney Ogwumike, and I got to give credit where credit's due. Like, this is something that not a lot of people do, and like we've never, again, not something that we had heard publicly or we would see normally publicly in any way. But we actually saw Chiney Ogwumike, do what people are supposed to do in this scenario and address it. Like, genuinely addressed it. So, like, Chiney Ogwumike said that JuJu Watkins had held a record for the most points scored in the first 2 years. And I think she's probably going to break the record, assuming... I'm not making any assumption that USC beat Kansas State. I'm not doing that. I think they probably do. I'm not making that assumption. They should, but they might win those two games. She needs to probably beat Kansas State and make the Sweet 16, and she'll probably just pip Kelsey Mitchell's record. But somebody tweeted it. One of these the Caitlin Clark pages tweeted it out, and they were like, and mind you, Kelsey Mitchell still holds the record. And she genuinely responded, "My bad. I saw a graphic during the break that was wrong, stating that, but I should have known better." And that's all you need. That's literally all this. Where it's like, we're all human. Someone has said the agenda you all got the point of JuJu better than CC's. Like, like, thanks for owning that misinformation. My bad. Why not apologize to your viewers for saying, like, come on, come on. Come on. We've all said and quoted wrong things. This is not serious enough that it has to be dealt with anything other than my bad. Like, if it was honestly, not dealing with it at all, but not repeating it is probably an acceptable way of dealing with the situation. And I mean that. Like, not repeating it, and then the next time they're live, just stating, literally just not even correcting it, not even mentioning that it was wrong. Starting the next JuJu broadcast with a countdown to Kelsey Mitchell's points. That would be acceptable. That literally would be acceptable. She didn't have to publicly say anything. And the fact she did is good. And that's the thing where it's like, I have no issue with Chiney. Like, and no matter what, when it comes to arguments with Chiney Ogwumike, like, I'll normally, women's basketball media, like, most of them, you'd better believe, like, if Cheryl Swoops was called out for this, Cheryl Swoops would be like, I would deny ever saying that. Let's be real. Cheryl Swoops said Caitlin Clark was 25. She was shooting 40 shots a game. She was 25 playing against 19-year-olds. And she had played 5 years. She played 4 years. One of her years wasn't even a full year to break the record. One of her years was not even a full year. She played 4 years and only shot over 20 times a game once. She only shot over 30 times a game, or for a season. She only shot over 30 times a game like 4 times in her college career and won all of those games, by the way. But, yeah, it's like, this is why Kelsey should have been on the graphic. So, Kelsey should have been on the graphic. Trash and Caitlin Clark. Like, and that's the thing where it's like, it is completely fine to be misinformed. But that's kind of the world we live in now. Where, like, we all know that graphics and Twitter posts and headlines kind of rule all. And we've all been tricked by it. To say we have not fallen for a graphic is to be wrong. To say that all of us have not been once fooled by Centel. To say that none of us have, back in the day, if we're basketball fans, quoted a Ballsack Sports post to our friend and then realized it was Ballsack Sports. Like, most of us aren't Stephen A. Smith, and who constantly talked about it on First Take. And again, most of us aren't Chiney Ogwumike, who said it in front of hundreds of thousands of people. So a mistake gets amplified. But to say that most people have not made that any of us have not made mistakes of a similar, like, not magnitude, because it's hard to quantify the magnitude of mistakes when certain people say it to a lot more people. Obviously, mistakes like that have greater magnitude when it's to more people. But to say that we haven't all made mistakes exactly like that is completely wrong. And I think a lot of the WNBA media, I understand the reason why a lot of WNBA media is, like, calling out, like calling out WNBA media for their wrong stuff. But I think when they mention it and address that they got something wrong, and hopefully the best thing you can do is not say, oh, I was wrong the last, make this whole big thing. Just literally just a countdown to Kelsey Mitchell. Celebrate Kelsey Mitchell, celebrate JuJu. That's the best way you can go about this. And there are so many people in the WNBA media that are in the media, they're asking questions, they're pushing things in bad faith. Like we saw the NBC person, who I'm not even going to give them the, like, I'm not even going to name the person, questioning JuJu and constantly being like, how does it feel to break Caitlin Clark? How does it feel to score more points than Caitlin Clark? And it's like, and she was like, as good as paraphrasing, she was like, I don't really care. Like, it's not that big a deal because it wasn't a record. And not only that, like, not only was it not a record, it's not that big a record. I'm sorry, everyone plays 4 years of college. Most points after 2 years is not that really big a record. It matters in the grand scheme of things, but like, you better believe, I don't know, you better believe the Haitlins are going to go and quote that against her, because, I mean, they still quote the fact that, Caitlin Clark lost an elementary school soccer game when she was 7 years old, 6'5", and scored all 5 goals because, she makes her teammates worse or whatever. And the fact is that obviously that was completely made up off the top of my head, but it's not that far. They're literally quoting losses she had with the Iowa Attack AAU team. It's AAU. No one cares who wins or loses the next day. Obviously, every player on the floor wants to win every game, but the next day, no one gives a damn about AAU. But somehow, 6 years later, people are quoting that she lost certain games with the Iowa Attack. That means she's not the greatest rookie of all. She's not rookie of the year because she lost a game. She's 14 for the Iowa Attack. Like, madness. There are so many bad faith things, and people that look at all this stuff in completely bad faith. That when somebody makes a mistake because they saw a graphic and got fooled in the same way a lot of us got fooled by certain things, and they should she have been more informed? Of course she should have. But it wasn't a mistake made in bad faith. And when you can tell who's making mistakes in good faith and in bad faith. And Chiney Ogwumike is not making any arguments in bad faith. Because Chiney Ogwumike, the bigger women's basketball gets, the more money Chiney Ogwumike gets. Chiney Ogwumike knows that. She knows that. She knows all it is. She's smart enough to know this. And no, is she some, like, Caitlin Clark stan in the media? No. And the reality is that it's good that the media isn't just stans. As media, you can be fans of certain players over other players. That's fine. But when it crosses into stan category, is where it's an issue. And the problem is there's the age. Half of the media are ageist stans. They are literally like they're the anti-Clarks. And you got someone that isn't that in the media making one mistake and getting attacked after they apologize. When the reality is that she did probably the best. Not the best thing. She said something. Whereas Cheryl Swoops would have lied and claimed she never said it. Apologized to Caitlin Clark, being like, she said all this crap about Caitlin Clark and then apologized to her saying, sorry, I thought you were a 5th year. I didn't realize you were only in 4th year. Nothing about her being 25 years old. Nothing about her shooting 40 shots a game. Nothing about all the stuff that she had said about Caitlin Clark. Just the one thing that was probably the least bad of what she said. But sure, look, it is what it is. But anyway, that's the video. I'll see you guys.